Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm back. It's Robert Phoenix, the blue collar astrologer, the hardest working man in live stream media across the planet, broadcasting to you 6 days a week from right here in the lovely Hill Country, in the heart of Texas. So what's going on? We're gonna get in. We're gonna get out. We're gonna bang this mother hard today. I'm gonna bring you some news, some dark news, some insights, some rebellion, some pathos, some inspiration, all within the span of about 50 minutes. So I'm just going to wait for people to arrive. We got Anna Erickson. Good morning, Anna. Isla Wren in the house. What's happening, Isla? Good to see you. Here comes everybody. We got 10 Dragon 14, Jennifer Rubin, Dawn Hart is here. Nice to see you, Dawn. Joe Dimitri, Tamara Garth. And Judy is not around number 5 or 6 right now. We got Maury Demare. There's Lils. What's going on, Lils? Introspective woodworker. That's my man Ryan chiming in. Nice to see you, Ryan. Renee. Hi, Renee. Megan Scala. What's going on, Megan Scala? Let's see who else is going to be showing up here. Hey, there's a Luann Hoffman sighting. I always see that you're posting on Facebook. Facebook tells me you're posting, Luann. It's good to see you. There's Judy Anderson, Ren Star in the house. Beauty and the Yeast. What a name. I love that. Beauty and the Yeast. I think that has something to do with either baking or beer, where yeast plays a significant role in both. FUP77, good morning to you. What's happening, FUP? Let's see. Frank Bry. There we go. There's Susie. What's happening, Susie? Let's see, who else do we have in here today? I got up early today. I went to bed kind of late. I was doing a reading last night and stayed up kind of late. Woke up kind of early, but I managed to get my watering done. Try to keep my little herbs alive. Keep the lawn respectable in the front. Berlin is going on. You know, I had a thing that I had been saving on Berlin, and I wonder if I still have it up here. I might not have it, but yeah, so there's a lot happening. Thank you for reminding me. There are the Crimmies. Crimmies in the house. They will be in the house on Friday for the Friday Farcast. They will be sharing their wisdom, knowledge, and experience on Friday's show with the Pilgrim Society and a lot more. Marie Gilson, she's checking in. Welcome to the show, Marie. Let's see who else is going to be here today. We got 53. Once we get up to 70, we're going to hit critical mass. How is my shoulder? Oh, that's Chris. Yeah. Chris got a little banged up. Coach K checking in. There's Sherry. Everyone on nights, but very hot here in the UK. I can't sleep. Hi, Sherry. Yay. Well, I got some footage from a quote unquote rave in Kent that apparently turned rebellious when the constables decided that they wanted to break the rave up and enforce social distancing. The ravers were not hearing anything of it. Mer Bowman, how come the sound is delayed? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the sound is delayed. It's like I'm in a foreign movie. I don't know why. I'll be honest with you, because I've actually plugged my computer directly into the modem, and it doesn't matter. So it's like I'm in a foreign film, and they're dubbing my dialogue over the top. Double M in the house. Justice Moody, good day. There he is, Thor by the door. There's Steve. Let's see, Natasha Lloyd. Who else do we have? Beep, 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 beep. We're up to 60. David Jasek. Hello, David from the Southwest. Welcome. Thanks for checking YouTube, Robert. I was just listening to Penny Kelly today. She's talking about Tartaria and the destruction of it. Yes. Who was talking about Tartaria months ago? who was talking about the astrological aspects of Tartaria months ago. Yes, yours truly. That's right. Faith. Every time Faith shows up, we know that Chatlandia is a group that is represented by Faith. Well, maybe not represented, but when Faith is here, Faith is in the house. We got a living, breathing testament of Faith. There's Danica Rose. Let's see. Listen to Penny. I listen to Penny. This sure be interesting. I'd like Penny Kelly to interview me. Maybe I could be on Penny Kelly's show. How about that? I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. So all you people who enjoy Penny Kelly's work, maybe you could prompt her to do an interview with me. I'd like that. I'd like to be Penny's guest next time. I think there needs to be a little reciprocity with this experience. I enjoy interviewing, but I also enjoy being the guest every now and then. I guess I'm my guest on my own show every morning. I will ask her in her comment section. It is lagging today. I don't know why. I've upgraded with Spectrum. I've done all the things that one theoretically should be doing in order to have a nicely efficient, economical, integrated streaming experience. She does not do interviews, only when she gives informational talks. Oh, okay. That's I get that. Yeah. Well, you know what? If somebody wants to set up a little summit there, Penny Kelly, doing a little Tartaria with me, I'd be happy to do that. I would be happy to do that. No, Robert, I'm lagging. We're both lagging together, Faith. Apparently my sound is lagging. You're lagging. Don't worry about it. Dragging butt today. Yeah, I'm a little tired myself as well. That's what I was thinking at Dawn Hart. Yeah, sometimes these things just, people need to evolve. Maybe do something different outside of their box. You know what I'm saying? A lot to talk about. Let's get going. Dear blessed and holy Father, Mother God, the great central sun within the universal light, which is the light and consciousness of Yeshua, Sanando, Emmanuel. We ask that only the highest and best information, wisdom, and truth come through this channel at this time, and that we are all blessed and graced by the qualities of strength, courage, independence, faith, humor, integrity, character, empathy, compassion, flexibility, fortitude, intelligence. Did I say humor? Let's get a double dose of humor today. Can we please? Let's bring it in. And above all, love. We ask that any karmic residue be cleansed, purified, clarified, and removed from each and every one of us as we participate in this stream, so that we may return to our self-sovereign as we were when we entered. So be it, and let's get rocking. Greetings from HK, where this once glorious city completely shuts down at 6 p.m. It is happening. It is happening, right? The global shutdown is on, and we're fighting against the global shutdown. Where do I want to start today? So much to talk about. Wow. Every day, it's like low-hanging fruit. It's like shooting fish in a barrel, as they say. Let's start with our good friends in Melbourne. Melbourne is definitely a city of interest for me at this point in time. Number one, I have a number of clients and good people in Melbourne, and I hate bullies. And Melbourne is being bullied. Okay, so I'm going to surface this. We're going to talk about this, and just kind of get this out in the air. He's choking me. Confronting moment. Male police officer strangles a woman who refused to wear a mask during a violent arrest on the streets of Melbourne amid draconian coronavirus lockdown rules. A shocked onlooker filmed the moment a woman was arrested in Melbourne. We're going to watch that video, by the way. This woman was caught not wearing a mask in the city, which is against the rules. Arrest turned violent when officer appeared to place his hands around her neck. So, do we know or understand if this thing is actually a real event? That's very, very important to understand. Let's find out more about the woman in the case here. Uh, let's see. This was captured by an onlooker in an apartment building in Wellington Street, Collingwood, in the lockdown city at 5 p.m. on Monday. Begins with the male officer, police officer, speaking to the 21-year-old redheaded woman. Okay, we got a redhead here. In baggy jeans, the woman can clearly be seen without a face mask, which is in breach of public health orders. They were introduced on July 19 to slow the spread of coronavirus. Residents in Melbourne and Mitchellshire must now cover their face when they leave the house or face a $200 fine under draconian stage 4 lockdown restrictions. But the confrontation clearly turned violent when the officer appeared to place his hands around her neck, clearly visible because of his lilac latex gloves. Okay. So here we go. Obviously, there is a pretty significant size disparity. And looks like an age disparity, too. Now, again, if this is not a staged event, it is obviously disturbing. So we watch the video. Let's see what we got on the video. There will be no sound here, but you can see that she is saying he's fucking choking me. He's choking me. Let's watch the video. Oh,
yeah, but you're choking her. There's a man on a girl, there's a man on a girl, and you choked her. For what? For a mask? For not having a mask? So that was dead.
all right. I gotta play the volume on this. Let me reset this because what I'm hearing is very disturbing, and you should probably hear it as well. So let me go back. Let me reset this. Let me get into the volume here, and make sure you guys can actually hear what's being said. It is disturbing. I don't think this is faked at all. This is not a George Floyd scenario that's happening. So I'm going to do a quick refresh here, and then I'm going to play it one more time. And here we go. This is what you guys need to witness both visually and through audio, so you can understand the intensity of this thing. She's not faking this. She's not faking this. Here we go. Let's play it one more time. Let's go. Come on. Come on, you can do this. Let's go. Cycling. Here we go. Come on, let's go.
Get off of me!
Yeah, but you're choking her. There's a man on a girl. There's a man on a girl. There's a man on a girl, and you choked her. For what? For a mask? For not having a mask? Look how pathetic you are. She doesn't have a mask. Are you serious? Are you serious? Just for not having a mask? For no mask? Are you serious? You're pathetic. You are pathetic. You're get off her. 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 No, get off her. Brush.
No, I'm not going to.
She's got an excuse for not wearing a mask, mate. She went to the doctor yesterday. Look what you're causing. Look what you're causing. Look what you're causing. Over a mask. She's a girl. Get off her. Get off her.
Get the nah, mate. Off, mate. Get off. Get off.
Put your hand behind your back and I won't hurt you.
Why am I under arrest?
All right. I just want to know. I wanted to get a visual. Why aren't the people in that apartment building? Let me play this again. Let me just see if I can.
Why am I under
Assaulting
arrest?
police.
But you grabbed her. You grabbed her. You didn't even ask her any questions. You What station?
We'll give you those details once she's in the back.
She's got a note from the doctor. Oh, I can feel the pride running through my bones. Big ass egos.
So, what are the people in the apartment building across the way doing? What are they doing? They're doing nothing. That's what they're doing. They're doing They're doing nothing. Nothing at all. You know, you probably have about 200 people in that apartment building, and maybe watching the event. Maybe you've got about, I don't know, 50 people watching that event. What are they doing on their patios? What are they doing there? They got one guy who's chronicling this and trying to keep this woman from being hurt more than she already is. But where's everybody else? What the fuck has happened to humanity? You know, we're just going to sit by idly and watch these people get basically mugged by thugs with safety vests. I mean, that was just brutal. Absolutely brutal. This is in Melbourne, Australia. Oh, that guy was pissed, right? But even that guy was at a disadvantage because there was another cop there, the woman cop or the female cop or the Bobby or whatever they call them. And then, of course, the reinforcements show up, right? I mean, this is just fucking ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Everyone should be out on that. I'm telling you, at some point, we got a little. What is this? What's going on? This is the spider. This is not, or is it the scorpion? I don't know who it is, but they're back again. Oh, it's the jumpy spider. This is not the scorpion. There was a scorpion crossing my screen yesterday. This is the little jumpy spider. It's got a very interesting thing going on here, the jumpy spider. Anyway. Come on, Melbourne, you're gonna have to step up here. You're gonna have to step up. You're gonna have to defend your fellows, right? You're gonna have to step up. You know, I'm sorry, but if you really value freedom, if you really value your liberty, your independence, you're gonna have to cross a line at some point. And I'm not advocating violence, but you could form a wall. You could form a human wall around that woman so that nobody else could get in. Right. And if they do get in, then you're the ones that are getting beaten up. Then you're the martyrs and you're the so-called victims. And the media, especially the left, love martyrs and victims. So what do I do with Jumpy Spider here? You're trying to get my attention. You certainly have got my attention. It's one of these spiders that jumps. They don't really see. He just jumped. He's a jumpy guy. Jumped right off my computer. I love the interaction with nature during these things, man. It's like I feel like the insect world version of Marlon Perkins. And today we are joined by the jumpy spider. Now Jim is going to risk his life by trying to put his finger out to the jumpy spider And perhaps there is a poisonous venom that Jim will be injected with. While I'm over here on the other side of the event narrating Jim's interaction with the jumpy spider. Anyway, you just got to do something. You got to do something. Please do something. Do something. Do something. Do something. Help your people. Help your people. You know, passive non-resistance is or passive resistance is at a bare minimum a technique that should be explored here. All right, let me show you another version, a very different version of people who are practicing the I don't give a fuck moment when it comes to masks. And they have a very different kind of outcome. So let me find this thing here. All right. For all my Brits, here we go. Shocking moment. Partygoers throw objects at police, and PC falls to the ground as illegal cookout rave on Kent Beach, organized by London Jerk Chicken Shop, turns violent, leaving 4 officers injured. Okay, so this is a very different kind of outcome. So footage shows officer fall to the floor as a car speeds around a packed car park at the beach cookout rave. Hordes of revelers flocked to rave, which began at 3:30 p.m. 3:30, nice start time there, at Great Stone Beach, Romney Marsh. Organizers from the Croydon Jerk Eatery, Flavor Boss, initially planned party at nearby Camber Sands, East Sussex. After details of secret location were leaked online, they rearranged it further down the coastline. Families on beach were forced to leave due to number of revelers failing to comply with social distancing. Kent police said man 29 from London was arrested after 4 officers were injured following reports of an altercation at car park near beach at 9 p.m. Let's look at this great heinous crime. This great heinous crime against humanity. So there we go. There's your rave action going on right there. That's what's happening right now. They do not want to be told what to do, to wear a mask, where to eat their jerk chicken, where to congregate, where to revel. So they're out there, they're having a good time. Looks like the weather's pretty warm over there in the UK. Crowds packed onto Great Stone Beach in Romney Marsh. They are definitely not practicing social distancing there. Families enjoying a day on the beach were forced to leave due to the sheer volume of revelers failing to take any measures to protect themselves or those around them. You know, I would say that there is a very, very different kind of demographic. Very different kind of demographic that's being dealt with here versus, say, Melbourne. Let's just put it that way. And they're taking this dude down. They're taking him down. They're like, "Hey, I'm here to break up your party," and they're like, "No, we're here to break you up. Let's get this straight. Let's define our relationship. Let us help you define our relationship." So they're having a good old time, man. Look at that. They're eating their jerk chicken. They're rocking out. They're masks. What masks? What masks? And apparently, they were successful in beating back the so-called authority. Yep. Now, the hue and cry and the outrage in this piece is kind of over the top. They're trying to condemn these people for gathering in public without observing any social distancing whatsoever. It's like they're having a good time. Jeez. Where would they rather be? Would they rather have them out in the streets looting businesses? I mean, let's pick our recreational diversions. They should be thankful. They should be thankful that they're hanging out on the beach, having a good time, bonding, dancing, right? Versus the alternative, which would be a lot more ugly, although I'm sure they would rather prefer the alternative in some way, because at least the alternative would then be able to paint this group as being violent, aggressive, et cetera, et cetera. Wish I was there. It looks like fun. Flavor Boss director Orette Williams said the money was to cover 3 coach loads of people who attended the event, and the company gave out food free of charge. I'd pay that. Why not? They're bussing people in under current government COVID-19 guidelines. It is against the law to hold together more than 30 people without permission. So they broke the law. Mr. Williams said he was given permission for the event, but it was withdrawn 48 hours beforehand after police found out that coach loads of people would be attending. Ooh. It did get a bit out of hand with regards to social distancing. All right, so he's able to admit that. He added that he had been given mixed signals by Folkestone and High District Council, which he said gave permission for a gathering that followed social distancing rules. We were stuck between a rock and a hard place. Isn't a rock hard? Why? That's an interesting statement. So you got the hard place and you got the rock. Aren't they both hard? Why is it the saying stuck between a hard place and a hard place? I don't know. I get the metaphor, but we don't host illegal gatherings. We did not break the law. The police knew this event was taking place. They were there from the start. He says, what was I going to do? Lose 2,000 pounds on the coaches? There they are. They're headed to the beach. They are ready to party down. Flavor Boss. We got some Sherry, you know about Flavor Boss? Is their jerk chicken any good? These people just want to chill and have a good time. They are not doing anything criminal nor violent, right? It's a beautiful day at the beach, and they want to hang out. If they wanted to, they could have subdivided this thing into groups of 30. They could have done that. I'm just thinking as an organizer. Okay, we got 30 here, we got 30 here, we got 30 here, and then you could have kind of an interesting little, kind of subsection with little tribal groups and communities. I mean, they could have done stuff that might have been interesting, right? They could have switched this up a little bit, but certainly a very different picture painted than the one that we just saw in Melbourne. People looking very peaceful. They're not out rioting. They're not out looting. Now, they did leave a bit of a mess behind, which is a no-no. That is a no-no, right? That is a no-no. Now, I'm also thinking that probably that is a lesser mess that could have been left. All right. I'm being a little subjective here, or maybe objective, more objective than so fast and loose, right? I mean, they could have been worse. I think this could have been worse. But nonetheless, they should have picked all this up. I have a problem with that. A bit of a problem with that. So there we go. So these are the Bobby Mobiles. Now we got let's see, what is this? A 29-year-old man from London was arrested following reports of an altercation around 9 p.m. in the car park near the beach. All right, so now it's getting a little heated after dark. Intoxicants, egos coming into play. So there you go. Looks like a lot of fun. And you got this young fellow here. Looks like he's enjoying, what is that, a piece of corn or something? Or maybe it's a shawarma, who knows? There's Flavor Boss, the jerk center. That'll be interesting to see what happens with Flavor Boss on the backside of this thing. But there we go. There's a very different reality when it comes to the so-called coronavirus And you know what the key factor in that is? It's called numbers. Numbers. They had numbers. Now, did they want to risk bringing down the entire police force to have a rumble on the beach? Right? I don't think they wanted to do that. They thought that they could go in there and reason with those people and get them to just disperse. And you know what? They were wrong. They were wrong. So the difference between Melbourne and the beach party, numbers. Numbers. That's one difference. That's one difference. And I'll tell you the other difference. I'm going to be straight up here with this now. The other difference is going to be demographic. Okay. So you have a group on the beach in the UK, which could probably handle themselves pretty well. They could probably handle themselves pretty well. Versus Melbourne, which being isolated, right? Maybe not the same degree of application of force. Let's put it that way. All right. That's a big difference right there. So we have demographics and we have numbers, and this is so maybe what would be great, Melbourne. Maybe you start having your own flavor boss parties and start bringing people over. No, you can't do that now. I don't think you could do that in Australia. Can't do it. Ain't happening. So there you go. The world in mask versus non-mask. And it is a world that is determined ultimately by numbers. It's a numbers game. Right? You had one gal in the streets of Melbourne, isolated. She was a prime target. You had a beach full of people, mask free, and determined to have a good time, and probably a group that the local constabulary did not want to tangle with. And quite frankly, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. There's a lot going on. We got more here. The hits just keep on coming. They just keep on coming. We're going to stay back into the sort of the UK, the Crown. We've covered Australia. We've covered England. And now it's time for us to shine a little light on New Zealand. And here we go in New Zealand. Jacinda Ardern plunges New Zealand back into lockdown amid COVID-19 outbreak, with 1.6 million Kiwis told they can't leave home after nation recorded just 4 new cases. So you got 4 new cases, New Zealand, and guess what your punishment is? Lockdown city. Lockdown city. There she is. My God. Jacinda Ardern. Jacinda's packing. You know what I'm saying? And there we have the ubiquitous signer, all dressed in black. What do we have here? Ms. Ardern is concerned about the origin of the outbreak. Ooh, given the family have no links to overseas travelers or managed hotel isolation. An Auckland man in his 50s tested positive to coronavirus twice, 5 days after he first developed symptoms, sparking fears he could have spread the virus throughout his community. The man's partner and preschool-aged children are also among the new confirmed cases. So keep your eye on that. See what happens to the kids. Probably pretty good chance that they will remove the kids from the house or kid from the house. You'll see more of that coming. So here we go. Just 4 new cases and the lockdown occurs. Boom. Emergency alert. If you're in Auckland, stay home when possible. All it takes, 4 cases. Some 11,000 Kiwis are currently unemployed. But what is this? They fear. There's a fear. I don't know. It's bad. That's bad English. Another lockdown could cause that number to soar. The latest restrictions have sent chills down the backs of businesses. Infometrics economist Brad Olson said after the announcement. Here you go. This is what the GDP looks like post coronavirus. Isn't that a pretty picture? Well, we all know what's happening. This is all about the global reset, and they're just going to yo-yo this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, completely demoralize people as much as they can. This is what the plan is: demoralize, 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 get people pissed off, get people frustrated, and eventually just break their will. Make sure that they don't have any real serious income coming in. Beg for universal basic income, and that is how they're gonna, build the new mousetrap. Okay, this is what's happening, and the jumpy spider's back. You guys want to see the jumpy spider? Yeah, I'll show you the jumpy spider. It's back. So I'm pretty sure this is a spider. You guys were pretty good at the. See him jump around. See how fast he is. He's right there. You guys are pretty good on the scorpion thing, right? Look at him. He just like covers a lot of ground. And he's got these the eye thing. You see that? He's got the eye thing. He's very interested in me. All right, but you know what? You can jump around all you want on my computer screen or computer, but Jumpy Spider's back. The white eye thing is a trip, right here. It's a trip. Anyway, enough Jumpy Spider. Look. We're in the stand right now. This is it, people. We are in the stand, and you want to see how you deal with mask restrictions? Flavor Boss is the general. Flavor Boss is the general for the mask, dealing with the mask restrictions. Okay. So isn't it interesting that all of a sudden, sort of the Command Central decides that New Zealand, new lockdown, Melbourne, hardcore lockdown. Not all of Australia, by the way, hardcore. The other thing I think that's happening in Melbourne, and I looked this up, and I'm going to show you guys this other piece around Melbourne, and then we're going to transition out of here. The other piece around Melbourne has to do with, where are we? It has to do with 5G. 5G. Let me show this to you guys. This is what I found. This comes right out of Australia, and it connects into the whole 5G paradigm. Jumpy Spider's on me now. He's into me, man. All right, so this is let's do this. So this is from 3 months ago. Australia's 5G rollout plagued with connectivity issues and conspiracy theories. The network promises to revolutionize the country's wireless infrastructure with faster internet and greater connectivity. But not everyone is convinced. Gee, I wonder why. So I think the lockdown has a lot to do with inserting 5G infrastructure without a lot of traffic on the streets of Melbourne. A large part of Melbourne and parts of Sydney have coverage, but it is a long way from what people might expect of mobile coverage. So here's your 4G coverage. Now, 4G, while not ideal, has a longer transmission. You don't need as many MIMOs, the millimeter wavelength distribution cones. That's really what they look like. You need a lot more for 5G because the waves are shorter, right? So this is the 5G map right now of Melbourne. And by the way, what they want, what they need, and what they want is they want this to look completely purple. They want the entire region to be completely purple. If we were going to rely on 5G for things, we need it to be everywhere, okay? Everywhere. So here we go. Here's your 5G situation in Australia. There's also apparently a lack of 5G phones. Oh, boo fucking who. This is it right here. This is the paragraph that you want to pay attention to. Connectivity is essential. Just as we've seen through the COVID crisis, it is our way to stay connected, and also in the future, our way to connect to things like our cars, our transport systems, and our cities, and our homes. It will be a game-changing technology. Yay! So this is really what I think is going on in Melbourne right now, that they are rapidly rolling out the 5G because you're not going to be out on the streets. Your cars won't be out on the streets. Your businesses will be closed. So they can do pretty much whatever they want, right? So we're going to see a lot more. In fact, the lockdown in most places has been about the distribution of 5G. They're connected. They are connected. So there you go. There you go. Oh, you guys got to see this. You want a little comic relief, man? I got to show you this. You're gonna laugh your asses off. I got to give you a little comic relief today. Maybe that'll lead us into the next section here. The next section. Oh my God, you got to check this shit out. You got to check this out. This is some fucking silly shit, man. You got to check this out. Hold on. All right. Okay, so I'm not even going to do a lead in with this. I'm just going to show this to you. It has to just be experienced for its visceral comic power. I'm almost there. One second. But I can't tell you what I'm doing. You're just going to have to experience this thing for all of its bizarre glory. All right, here we go. Let's play that again. If you didn't really catch it, let's play it again. Okay, so that is Tedros Adhanom, who is the head of the World Health Organization, trying to look as absolutely sexy as possible. You think it's fake? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if it's fake or not. Is that you, Robert? Yeah, I'm not sure that's me. Yeah, I don't think so. That doesn't even resemble me. Nice try though. That's really Tedros? Apparently. So I got it from Henry Macau. So he is seeking companionship, apparently. That's what he's looking for. And it gets into Macau's latest article, I think is actually worth reading because he gets into this level of it's just high strange and completely bizarre. Because what he's actually able to link to is that a lot of these public figures are homosexuals, okay? That they have homosexual connections, homosexual relationships. That includes Hitler, that includes Churchill, Bush, W. Gates, Barack Obama, Trudeau, Tony Blair. This is not uncommon. It's not uncommon. Remember him? Remember Jeff Gannon? James Guckert, also known as Johnny Gosh, spent a lot of time at the Bush White House. A lot of time at the Bush White House. He's on the logs there, overnight visits. There's Tony Blair and Jimmy Savile. Yeah, right. So I'm just playing that for you for a bit of comic relief in some ways. But I'm also trying to illustrate that the people in power are generally linked by perversion. And this is not necessarily a moral judgment, okay? You could just see that they're linked by levels of perversion and that they're all enablers of one another's perverse lifestyles. And I've talked about this for a long time, that they have dirt on each other, that they have films, videos, they've got emails, they've got photos, so at the highest levels, and even now it's dripping down. That kind of moral perversion is dripping down now into even lower levels. Right now, we're seeing it in governors and mayors, and they're all part of the same club. They're all part of the same club. These are the people now that are driving policy. They're driving policy. And they have nothing. They have look, I'm not here to bang on homosexuality. If you are, homosexual or queer or whatever, that's fine. That's fine. It's your choice or your lifestyle or whatever, however you want to express your life, whether you think it's a genetic disposition or whatever. Okay. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but that's your life and you're private, quote unquote citizen. These people are basically making policy, and they're making policy for the rest of us. And they have very little in common with the so-called rest of us. Okay. Very little in common. So really, what common core, what common interests do we share? We really don't. We really don't share much at all. So why would they even really care about people outside of their own inner circle, outside of their own enabling community? Why? They really don't. Yeah, I could just go down the line and just start picking people off and just like look at, and again, at a high level, mid level, I was looking at Lori Lightfoot last night. Lori Lightfoot is just one of the most bizarre people. If you can, I'm not even sure she's human. I'm being straight up here. She, for all intents and purposes, looks like a hybrid. She looks like a hybrid alien. And this is a person that's running Chicago. Right into hell. Right? Oh, this is great. Right into hell. She's running Chicago right into hell. Blocking the bridges, blocking the streets. Like you can't get in, you can't get out. These are the people that are making policy. They have very little in common. Very little in common with the majority. They in fact, they probably detest and hate the majority. I'm just being straight up here. This is what's happening. And now we're seeing this. Now we're seeing all these people linked together. They've got them all in place. All in place. And now they're making these top-down decisions. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. And they've been working towards this for a while now. Quite a while. Whatever, do we want to go next? I apologize if I'm a little low energy today. I'm working my ass off, just to let you know. So there are days when I try to come in and I try to pump things up, and I'm usually recovering from the previous day's workload. So I apologize if I'm a little low energy. I promise tomorrow I'll be back on. I'll be back in the red. I'll be on full tilt tomorrow. One of the things that I did want to talk about as well, besides the fact that we seem to be ruled now by a circle of high-level perps, and I don't have any problem saying that. I don't have any problem saying that. Have you seen Lori Lightfoot's husband or partner? Let me just show you this, and I'll move on. I mean, we're in a different world. We are in a way different world. Way different world. So here we have, let me just show this to you. There we go. I think this is probably the best picture. It's a lovely picture. A lovely picture of Mayor Lightfoot and her life partner. It's a lovely picture. There we go. Lovely picture. I mean, I bet whatever I own that we're talking about a switch here. This is a switch up. We got a switch going on. No, it looks like Ivanka Trump. She's pals with Lori Lightfoot. How about that? How about that? I guess this was her in high school. This was her in high school. From kick-ass trial lawyer to Chicago's next mayor. I don't know a whole lot about Lori Lightfoot, but I do know that she does not appear to be human in some ways. And this is not an uncommon refrain from a number of people who I've spoken with. She looks like a hybrid alien. Okay. But we're dealing with these people now, and these are the people that are making decisions for us. And it would be different, or it would be if these people had a so-called organizing principle or a relationship with the population at large that linked them together. Let's just say they were Christians, right? So they could have their little thing, but if they had some kind of a Christian ideology, then they would have the organizing principle, but they don't. What if they were Muslims? At least it'd be another organizing principle, but they don't. So a lot of top-down decisions are being made by people who are really not very vested in what we would call the mainstream or Main Street or the demographics that have supported this country and the world for most of the 20th century. And I'm not even talking about so-called white people, right? I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about individualism, families, homes, ownership. These people are out to destroy it all. They're out to destroy it all. That's what they're there to do. Destroy it all. And they're here to destroy it for the Fourth Industrial Revolution. If you look at the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, do a deep dive on him. I have. He's one of the major, his family is one of the major funding families around transgenderism and transhumanism. Okay? Just look at who's running that state. You know, and these are the people that they've bonded together and banded together so they can roll out their version of the future. All right. And they're very intent now on destroying the present and destroying the past. And they all have something in common. I'm just telling you. Gavin Newsom apparently has moved his wife and kids out of California. They're now apparently living in Idaho. Gee, I wonder why. Okay, where else we want to go? I'm not sure I want to. God, do I want to bring this up? Geez, I don't know. This is a very, very, very difficult piece of information, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat this thing. This was very hard for me to watch here, or not even watch, but just witness. But I have to do it because this is a part of the state of where we are. This is a story now that's coming out of what is this, North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. Wilson, North Carolina. This little boy was, for all intents and purposes, assassinated. Now, I hate to bring this up. I hate to bring it to you, but I got to show you where we're at. I have to show you where we're at because it links to what I was talking about. It links to this idea that things have been set in motion. Things have been put into play so that the order, the basic common order, is deteriorating to the point where somebody could literally do a hit on this little kid. And that's exactly what happened. Now, if we are moving towards a place where the decay and the deconstruction of order leads us to the final judgment, and that it all rises up before our very eyes, then I can understand and see what's taking place. And by the way, I do think that's going to happen. This is why we're seeing this stuff. This is why it's taking place. Because ultimately, we're going to have to exercise this. Ultimately, we're going to have to cleanse this so that we can move on to a higher level of relating with one another in this domain. Okay. So this kid is 5 years old and he was murdered in cold blood. He was the next door neighbor of the family. I don't know what prompted him to kill this kid. And I'm not bringing this up to get people pissed off, although maybe that might help on some level. I'm bringing it up because it is connected to the thing that I was talking about. They have enabled these kinds of acts to take place. They're trying to figure out how they're going to put their lives back together. It says Sessoms lives next door to Cannon's father, and a neighbor said that the two men had dinner together Saturday night. And Sessoms was, so they have a relationship. So maybe the kid's father said something, but it still doesn't. It still does not justify this kid being killed. My first reaction was he's playing with the kids, Labyrinth said. For a second, I thought that couldn't happen. People don't run across the street and kill kids. So what pushed this guy to snap? Now he's a felon. Sessoms was convicted of felony larceny of firearms in Wilson County. That was in 2016. So he's got a record. Shows 2 penny counts of felony, maintaining a vehicle, dwelling, or place for a controlled substance. Says the family is demanding justice for Cannon. You know, I think that there's a deeper narrative to this story. It's a much deeper narrative. I think something went on with this guy and the father. I don't know what happened. Only the father knows, but it still does not justify the killing of a 5-year-old kid. Oh, here we go. Reopening gay bathhouses will aid economic and cultural recovery. Well, you could open up the gay bathhouse, but you can't go to church. I know it's a cliche refrain. This is London Breed, who is the mayor of San Francisco. I guess this is the police chief of San Francisco. Are you sensing a theme here? Raphael Mandelman says gay bathhouses need to be reopened ASAP. Oh, you got to help with that economic and cultural recovery. These regulations were put in place in 1984 when the AIDS crisis was devastating gay communities. Okay, there you go. And of course, the churches need to stay closed. So this actually ties into what I was talking about and the level of leadership and the type of leadership that we are having to deal with. And I'm just going to tell you right now that they don't give a fuck about you. All right. They don't. Your life, your lifestyle, your values, your morals. And again, you could be a conservative, family-oriented person. You can sleep with somebody with the same sex. I'm not saying anything along those lines, all right? I'm talking about values. I'm talking about values. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about heart. They don't want any of that. They're here to burn it to the ground. That's what they're here to do. They're here to burn it to the ground. And I'm just connecting dots. I'm just connecting dots. That's all I'm doing. You need to know really what you're up against. And even here in this town, so-called conservative, Republicans in this town, I don't have any evidence that these guys or women. Although we did have, well, I'm going to stay away from that. That they are doing perverse acts in secret on the side, but I wouldn't put it past anybody at a local level, right? And I think when people wake up and realize just how deep this thing goes and how entangled it is, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna say, "I am in hell." That's what's going to happen. I mean, everybody knows about the adrenochrome stuff and the child trafficking and all these things that are, sort of this undercurrent narrative. But there are lesser versions of that, right? There are more kind of socially acceptable versions of how this world is becoming just absolutely and utterly distorted, just totally distorted. And this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with high levels of distortion. And they're all linked up now. They're all linked. They're putting it all together. All together. Looks like Belarus is going to be sovereign for at least a little while. I've been following that election. And the Belarus presidential candidate has gone into exile. Svitlana Tsikhanouskaya flees to Lithuania. So what happened was that Lukashenko, he won, and they basically said that Lukashenko cheated, and they want to remove Lukashenko. They want to go into for a regime change. So this is the person that ran against him. She lost, and she knows that she's on the hot seat, because Lukashenko doesn't fuck around. She's going to Lithuania. She's in exile now. And there were a number of agencies, international agencies, the EU, NATO, the UN, and even the US chimed in. And they basically said that Belarus better not perpetrate any acts of violence or any acts of extreme handling of their protest situation. They're trying to get a regime change in Belarus. They did a regime change in Lebanon. I told you guys that on Sunday night when I did the Sunday night show. I said, look, those guys are going to leave. They're going to step down and leave. And Monday, that's exactly what they did. The writing was on the wall. Now Lebanon basically has no government. No government. And that's exactly what they wanted. So now they can bring somebody into Lebanon and run that thing. And so they got what they wanted. They got a regime change. They hammered them economically. Then they had protests around the economic stuff. It's regime change 101. And it'll happen here. It will happen here. And the reason it'll happen here is because the economy is sputtering. It's teetering right on the edge. And let's just say, for instance, Donald Trump either remains in office or wins the election. And by the way, I've looked at the chart. There's very little chance that he will lose this election. Very little chance. But the heat will not. The heat will not reduce. They will keep the heat on. They're gonna keep the heat on, and it will be the same thing. It will be the same thing when it comes to regime change. They're trying to do the exact same thing: ruin the economy, get people hungry, get them out of their homes, and that's going to be a big deal as people get dispossessed of their homes, either via their mortgages, not being able to pay them, or not be able to pay their rent. And right now there's a big no eviction thing that's going on that could end. And when it does end, you're going to see a lot of people in very serious straits. And, the mask thing and Corona will be the least of their worries. So they're working on a regime change here. They've been working on it for a while. When they got their wish, they got their guy out, they got their regime out of Lebanon. Lukashenko will not roll over. He will not roll over. And in fact, his opponent essentially has admitted defeat by vacating and leaving Belarus or Lithuania. This is a guy that wants to keep his country sovereign, okay? And it's always interesting that people who are leaders, who are really vested in the sovereign experience of their country, are often labeled tyrants or dictators because they have to be. They have to be vilified. Their character has to be assassinated. They have to be removed from office because they cannot act as an independent arbiter of their people's needs. Saw this with Ceausescu. Not a great guy, but he stood up against, the interesting thing about Ceausescu is that he took out a loan from the IMF and that motherfucker paid it back. He paid it back. He had some extreme austerity with his people, but he did it because he wanted to pay the loan back. He didn't want to be beholden to the IMF, and they don't like that shit. They don't like it. They don't like leaders who stand up for their people and their country because they stand in the way of the New World Order. They are speed bumps on the way to the New World Order and the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Just as independent thinkers, people that have family values, people that value love, and they're speed bumps as well. And they want to get them the hell out of the way too. They basically want to wipe the slate clean, complete clean slate, re-educate everybody. Colleges aren't going to happen. Like, college is over. High schools are on life support, right? Because they don't want to give people right now any new education or any new skills. And if they do get them, they'll be educated and they'll get skills for the new regime, the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And nothing will happen at a college level before that's in play. Big Ten is canceling its football season. I said that was going to happen. They are insistent at rolling this thing out, and they will not rest. They will not rest until they get what they want, which is a complete and utter deconstruction of the world that we're living in and have been living in, and inserting their version of a new reality. Now, I don't think the world that we were living in was completely great on some level, right? It was not great. There are certainly inequities. Certainly, there's a high degree of corruption. The system of governance really has been completely out of touch and out of tune with the real needs of the people for many, many years. Many years. Our food supply has become tainted. The giant pharmaceutical manufacturers have ruined people's lives by getting them on drugs that they had no business on, whether it's fentanyl or OxyContin or any other drug that was prescribed for either pain or the reduction of some inflammation or the reduction of some kind of disturbed mental state or whatever it is, right? And apparently now they're even having some issues with people that took Nexium, the purple pill, for their acid indigestion. That apparently has fucked people up, right? So the system itself has not been great, okay? But the modicum of choice that was still available and the potential for the individual to kind of carve out a niche was still there. They want to just eradicate all of that, okay? And the thing that they want to put into place is nothing that's really going to benefit anybody who has their values rooted in individualism, ownership, family, right? Those three things, see you later. See you later. They're gone. They're gone. They want to destroy all of that, and they want to remake people in their new image. These will be the wards of the state. Whether you're a child or whether you're an adult, you will be a ward of the state, and it'll be worse than it is now. Now, is that a fait accompli? I don't believe so. Or I wouldn't get up and do this show every day. I wouldn't, because there is a competing narrative going on. And again, I continue to bang this drum. And this is where I get positive, all right? I'm not going to leave you walking around looking for the razor blades in your bathroom cabinet, all right? We are living in a reality where something deeper is emerging. You will not find it on the evening news. You will not find it on CNN, MSNBC. You won't even find it on Fox, okay? You won't find it on Fox. The reality that's beginning to emerge will not get headlines. You may not even find it in your local church, although perhaps you will. Perhaps you might. I'm not going to downplay churches. Like I said, I'm a fan of the underdog. And I don't like people being pushed around. But there's an emerging reality, and it's part of my life on a daily basis. I witness it every single day of my life. Every day. So yesterday I was talking with my buddy. I'm going to get him on the show. My buddy Murray. Shout out Murray down in New Zealand. Murray's a great guy, very talented. He's working on I'm not sure where he is on his tarot deck. I hope he can share a few images with us of his tarot deck. I hope he will grace us with a few images. Now, I haven't seen him yet, but if I know anything, well, I know a few things about Murray, and his tarot deck I think will be spectacular, absolutely spectacular. So we were exchanging emails yesterday, and we were talking about Frank Zappa, and we were talking about how Zappa was a Dadaist and deconstructionist, and that his art was kind of difficult to get into. And he said, what we need now is more beauty, which I completely agree with. We do need more beauty. So I was, typing to him about Zappa's involvement in the Laurel Canyon scene. And I had a Zappa video going on in the background, and while I was typing to him, and the track that he did, I think it was from like 1969, called Plastic People, came up and started playing. And the minute I started typing Laurel Canyon, there's a line in the song where Zappa says, there's an agent of the CIA who's lurking around the Laurel Canyon. Like right when I was typing Laurel Canyon, there's like Frank Zappa's voice from the past. I'm like, wow, man, this is interesting. So we're living in this time where these synchronicities are starting to really emerge, right? This idea that we are limited to third dimensional consciousness, that's going away. That is beginning to dissolve. Because as all these structures around us begin to dissolve, right, the things that tether us to this third dimensional domain, they're also dissolving. Well, that means that we have the opportunity to step into something very different and very new. My buddy Richard from Mexico keeps, he's listening to the show. He's commenting in real time. Emerging reality is the interaction of Homo sapiens divinicus. There we go. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate your participation. So this is the positive note, right? This is the positive note. This is me being a witness and a testament to the emergent reality of how we can actually really live together at a high level, at a very high level. And the amount of creativity and the amount of imagination, which has been absolutely rendered nearly inert by the constant distractions, by the intrusion of the digital domain, that grabs our attention vis-a-vis our personal devices, right? There is a latent potential and quality in all of us as divine creators that want to emerge, the true family of man, right? And not just one group, not just one color, not just one race, not just one cultural trajectory, whether it's European or Caribbean or Asian or Eurasian or Russian, whatever. This is really truly the story of our human experience that we will all begin at some point in time to experience on a personal level, not just conceptual. Okay, you got to trust me on this. I've seen it. I've had a glimpse into that reality, and it's a profound reality. It's a very profound reality. But we have to work through this one, and it's tough sledding right now. And I'm going to tell you, it's probably going to get tougher. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Not going to sugarcoat it. I think Obama's in the headlines. I got to talk about Obama a little bit before I get out of here. I think Obama's on the hot seat. I wanted to play this one piece with Trump very quickly, and then we're going to get out of here. The Tedros video. I don't know if that's real or not. I hope it is. I hate to say I hope it is. Let's see. Trump gave a press conference which was interrupted yesterday. It was very bizarre. I know a lot of you saw that, and I'd probably be remiss if I didn't at least acknowledge it. Let me see if I can do this thing here. I just want to show you what I think is coming around the bend. And I've been talking about this, and especially on my Sunday night show. I think the astrological aspects are moving. I think they're moving into a position where Obama is going to, his untouchable status is going to expire. So let me find this here very, very quickly. Very quickly. Oh, yeah, I got to bring this up too. This is some funny shit. This is some fun. I'm going to leave you with this after I do the Obama stuff. Then I got to get out of here. Okay, let me find the Obama piece. This is very funny. Very, very funny. All right. So it's at the end of Trump's press conference yesterday, and he's basically indicting the entire Obama administration. Now, whether or not they're going to be able to do anything remains to be seen. But I do believe that what we're going to witness ultimately is going to be the forced exile of Barack Obama. Because if they remove Obama, and it is a public event. It's a public event. They'll be throwing napalm on the flaming embers of a race riot. By the way, Jeff Bezos dumped $3 billion in Amazon stock. There we go. So this is right at 1 hour, and a lot of you probably saw the press conference yesterday. I'm going to skip it. This is where he was evacuated. That's a very interesting piece of synchronistic information. Evacuated. So let me just ramp this thing up here. Then I'm going to leave you something really funny. But I have to talk about this because it's in the headline. And I don't want to be accused of a bait clicker or clickbaiter. So here we go. Let me tee this thing up. A clickbaiter, a bait clicker. Okay. Queued up, ready to go. Here you go. It's only about 15 to 20 seconds, but I think it's worth listening to. And the only reason I think it has some merit, has to do with the fact that, let me get this thing on YouTube, has to do with the fact that I've been looking at these aspects with Obama, and there is a there there. There is definitely a there there. I just want to get this on YouTube. Give me one sec. Here we go. All right. And I would not be surprised if all of a sudden you just did not see Obama. You just wouldn't see him. Like it would be an exile situation. And just like Trump was just, he went right out of this this event at the White House. He's not in New Jersey, apparently. I think it is a signifier of what's to come. And I'm going to play this right now. Appreciate your patience. And then I'm going to give you something funny. Give you some funny shit to here we go. So have a listen. This is where he basically is saying that they're all dirty. They spied on him, and that really they need to be held accountable. Here we go.
OAN, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, thank you for coming back to finish the briefing.
Thank you very much.
After the scuffle. So I have an opinion question for you. Joe Biden is set to announce his running mate at any time now. We expect him to announce her. Many of your supporters feel that the reason that Obama's former NSA, Susan Rice, is at the top of Biden's list is that she can best cover up a lot of the Obamagate surveillance crimes that have taken place during your campaign. What are your thoughts? What is your opinion? Do you subscribe to that line of thought? How do you feel about it?
Well, look, the Obama campaign spied on our campaign, and they've been caught, all right? And now let's see what happens to them. But they have been caught. They've been caught red-handed. It's probably treason. It's a horrible thing they did. It probably never happened before. At least nobody got caught doing it. But they used the intelligence agencies of our country to spy on my campaign, and they have been caught. And there are a lot of people involved. I don't want to say how much she's involved. Frankly, if he chooses her, that's fine, but that's a potential liability. We'll see. But President Obama knew about it. Joe Biden knew about it. Comey knew about it. Brennan, Clapper, the whole group, they all knew about it. Lisa Page, her lover Strzok, they all knew about it. And we have it documented. We have it in texts. We have it in all sorts of forms. They knew about it. It was a terrible thing. Should have never happened and should never be allowed to happen again to a president. This should never happen again. This was a setup like we've never seen. I think it's a political crime of the century. And they've been caught. So let's see what happens to them all. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So there you go. It's right at the end of that press conference. And I think that's actually relevant. That's actually relevant. By the way, see if I can figure this thing out here. Give me 1 second. Yep. Yeah, right there. Hold on. I want to get a certain image in. By the way, isn't this the guy that was the cop down in Australia? I swear to God, this looks like the cop in Australia that forcibly subdued that. I know it's not. I'm just saying it looks like him. It looks like him. I think it's significant. I think there's going to be heat on Obama. I don't believe that his untouchable status is going to be viable anymore. And I think we're going to see something. Well, really, what we'll see is what we won't see, and I think he will be disappeared. That'll be a very interesting moment in time. And I'll tell you what, though. I will tell you what. I looked at this chart this morning, and if they don't do this, if Obama does not get removed in some ways, that he will have a political resurrection at the end of the year. And you don't, trust me, you just don't want that, okay? You don't want the political resurrection. So there is actually a timestamp on this. There's an expiration date. And maybe I'll get into that on Sunday night, or maybe I'll bring it up tomorrow. It is an astrological aspect in this chart that does augur a political resurrection. Okay, let me leave you a little bit of humor before I get out of here today. Of course, I was going to do this much faster, much faster than I was. But these things happen the way they happen. Okay. This will leave you laughing here. This will give you a chuckle or two. Here we go. Just waiting for the cycle. That's all we're doing. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. All right, I got it now. Here you go. This is what you've been waiting for. A little bit of humor, a little bit of dark humor to send you out on your daily or nightly errands. From John McAfee, I was jailed. Why? Visited Catalonia just before Europe banned Catalonians from traveling. Tried to return to Germany and were refused entrance. They demanded we wear masks. I put on my thong mask. They demanded I replace it. I refused. Tussle, jail, black eye, released. So there you go. John McAfee, the clown prince of transglobal transgressions, got a little bit of a shiner because he was wearing his thong mask. So for all you people in Germany, please take note. Thong masks will not suffice. You'll have to wear a World War II issued gas mask in order to walk around the streets of Germany. No, you won't. But that's John McAfee. That's John McAfee in Germany, sporting the thong mask and a black eye. And with that, I bid you good day. For all our friends down in New Zealand and Australia, please stay strong. I'm thinking about you a lot. We're all, in this regard, yes, we are all in this together. That is for damn sure. That's for damn sure. And I promise I'll be back tomorrow. Higher energy. I'll have much higher energy tomorrow. But it's been kind of an intense workload over the last few days, and I do my best to stay as relevant and pumping up the volume. So bye for now. Bang on that. And you know the drill. Use your head in order to discern what's real and your heart to stay open to what's possible. Thank you again for being a part of today's stream. I'm Robert Phoenix. This has been 15 Minutes of Flame.